Hi, Harold.
Hi, Mario.
Where were you yesterday?
Ugh, got too many things going on.
What?
I have too many things going on. Dinners,
Oh,
meetings, and blah, 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 and on and on and on.
it's hot there, right?
It's 90, what is it here? 90.
Not bad.
Oh, 86.
Not bad.
86.
No, but the forecast is in the 90s
No, it says 86 right now.
for the week. For the week.
Let's see. Tomorrow, 87. Sunday, 88. Oh, Monday, yeah. It's going to get hot. Tuesday, 97. I won't be here
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday.
Ah, okay.
Next Shabbos, 100. Is the
Not
shul having
bad.
is the shul having a dinner next Shabbos lunch a lunch next Shabbos? Do you know anything about that?
Which dinner?
Young Israel, are they having a lunch next Shabbos?
I don't know.
Did you hear anything? Someone told me they're having a lunch next Shabbos. I don't know.
I didn't get it. Well, I won't be here anyhow.
Oh, you're leaving already for your trip.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Yes.
Where you heading?
Travels.
And I'm shopping there.
Where you heading to? Overseas?
He's going to Italy.
Oh, wow.
Overseas, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Visiting all the other Marios.
That's wonderful.
He
Oh.
won't be the only Mario there.
Is your brother not going to join you too?
I'm going first.
And also, my Sabbath is about an hour from now.
You're not coming through clear. You're breaking up. I don't know. Was it my phone?
¿Cómo? ¿Con quién? Ah, sí, que me va. Esa.
Porque vos vas a sacar las cosas del auto, eso no lo puedo ayudar.
Ok.
Voy a sacar por adelante.
¿Lo vas a poner adentro? Hi, and Ernie, I thought you would be on the other side of town.
Mario. Ernie, was machst du?
Yeah.
Good, good. Okay. I'll let you guys look at this.
We're on Chav Daled 24 Amud Aleph.
Oh, you didn't finish 23.
Lezeh Shnayim, Lezeh Shnayim. Asu Lamali. Hainu We learned this. Why is it different from the following Mishnah? Arba Achim, 4 brothers, Shnayim and Nesun Shtei Achayos. Reuben and Shimon are married to 2 sisters. Umesu and Nesumas Achayos. Reuben and Shimon die, so the 2 sisters fall to the other brothers. You can't do Hebrew because you're going to live with the sister of your Zika. It's a problem. If you marry one, you can't marry the other. So you might say that perhaps each woman fell to its own brother. So we don't say that, and we say that there is Zika, and there would be a problem for either of them to do Yibum. We say if they went ahead,
Ernie,
they
what
got
are you holding
married, then
exactly?
they don't force a divorce.
Yeah, Ernie?
Ani Shila, Vafilu Shtem Kohanim. Now, even if they're both Kohanim, and they gave Chlitza first, and normally Chlitza, they can't marry a Chlutza, we don't force a divorce, my time. The prohibition of a Kohen marrying Chlutza is Rabbanon. And since we don't know which one of the women is a true Chlutza, so therefore each one is a Chlutza. Lagaz Rabbanon. The Rabbanon did not make a Gzeira by a Safek Chlutza. Fragt die Gemara, Chalutza Drabbonani? Vatanya Grusha, Ele la Grusha Chalutza Minayin.
I have the Gemara here.
So the Gemara says it's not a deraisa. So the Rabbanu who cross Machtam Almu, it's not a deraisa. Take a law Chalutza, coin. Rabbanu, they were geyser. Mishnah, mitzvah begadol yabim. The mitzvah is for the oldest brother to do yibum. If a younger brother went ahead, he is miyabim. That it should be the bechor. There is no yibum by an islandess because they can't give birth. The brother that does yibum inherits the nachla of the brother who died. Maybe the child that is born gets the name of the dead brother. Yosef Kornaso Yosef, Yochanan Kornaso Yochanan. And maybe that's what it means, Yakum al Shem Achiv. So the Gemara says, no. Nemer kad Yakum al Shem Achiv. V'nemer lahalon al Shem Achem Yikaru b'nachla sam. Madach over there, Ma Shem Amar lahalon is nachla. It refers to Yerusha. Av Shem Amar kala nachla. It also refers to Yerusha. V'lo yimaches shmo. The yibum is to have a child so that his name won't get erased. Pratla saris. A saris does not do yibum because he's castrate. He can't have children. Sheshma mochli, his name gets erased anyways. Amarav. Afal gadu b'chalator kula. Ein mitiyot kuto. If you say shame, it should mean name, not nachla. And even when Chachamim darshan, the plain meaning of the pasuk cannot be disturbed. But hacha also here there is no concept of name. It's all about Yerusha. If it wasn't for the Gzer Shav, I would have thought name means a name. Laman Kamazar Rachmana. And who was the Torah warning? Do we say, he's saying, don't la Yavim to the brother? It would say, Yakum Hashem Achicha Lebar. And if the Torah is speaking to Bezdin, Ila Beidina, Yakum Hashem Achi Aviv Lebar. So V'dil Mahachi Karmelu, maybe this is what Rachmana Lebez is saying to the Bezdin. Armela Yavim, say to the Yavim, Yakum Hashem Achiv. Elo Asoy Gzer Shav Afikti Legabri. Comes the Gzer Shav that we learned. And it removes the whole plot of shame, and it only refers to Nachla. Hashadam is Krabagadol Ksiv. So now you told me that Vahaya Bechor comes to tell me that the oldest brother has Kadima. So maybe Ema Bechor Liyabim, Pashat Lo Liyabim. Maybe it comes to qualify the case of Yibum to only the Bechor. And any other brother cannot do it. In Kain Eishes Achiv Shlayab Olamo. Remember when there's Reuven and Shimon in the world, and then Reuven dies, and then Levi is born. That's called Eishes Achiv Shlayab Olamo. But if the din was that only the Bechor does Yibum, then we would never have a Havamina to say that Eishes Achiv Shlayab Olamo would be with her. The Miyat Rachmana. Lamali, then it must be that even a lesser brother, younger brother, has the right to be Miyat. Maybe the puzzle comes to exclude the Bechor of the mother. So the Gemara says that's not a good Havamina. Who lo matzis samras? The Yibum v'nachla kol Rachmana. The Nachla minav lo minaim. Yerusha follows the father, not the mother. Maybe if there's a Bechor alive, then there's Yibum. Maybe if the Bechor died, the younger brothers don't. So the Torah already discussed the possibility that the Bechor might die and the other younger brother would do Yibum. Maybe Maybe it's coming to tell me that when the younger brothers die, the Bechor has to. The Gemara says no, because Hamiyat Rachman Eishes Sachiv Shlei B'Lomo. Otherwise, we would never needed a pasuk to exclude Eishes Sachiv. The Ema, maybe Ki Leka Bechor Kodem Kotten Zacha. When there's no Bechor and the younger brother tries to do Yibum, he's Zoicha. And the Ika Bechor Kodem Kotten Loi Zacha. Maybe I would have thought that if there's a Bechor in the picture and a younger brother steps in, he's not Zoicha in the woman. Amar Kral Ki Yeshvu Achim Yachdav. All the brothers are the same. Maybe when there's a Bechor, there's a Kedima for an older brother. But Kileka Bechor ain't a Gadol. Maybe you can go to the youngest brother. The Gemara says no. The mitzvah is the oldest brother. To the younger, to the brother underneath. Lo Ratza Chayzron Eitzel Gadol. You go to the remaining oldest brother. Kibechor. Ma Bechor Bechorasa Garmalo. I'm teaching a shiur right now. Fine. Av Gadol Gedulosa Garmalo. The adult, the oldest brother gets the kedima. Maybe the nachla is connected to the bechor. That when the bechor does yibum, he gets the nachla. But kimiyabim pashut lo lishkol nachla. Maybe nobody gets the yerusha if a younger brother was miyabim. Amar yakum al shem achiv v'harei kam. Any brother that stands in the place of the brother. El bechor de kayer achmana lamay hilchasa. So why did the Torah write Bechor? L'griyusa. To qualify what is Yerusha is. Ma b'chor ein anoitel b'roikim b'motzik. Avchai ein anoitel b'roikim b'motzik. A regular Bechor, we're going to learn in Baba Basra, God willing. Somebody has noise. Okay. A regular Bechor, when he inherits Pishnayim, he inherits Pishnayim of assets that are physically in the estate. Assets that are going to fall afterwards in the estate, he doesn't get Pishnayim of that. Same thing by the brother that does Yibum. He only gets assets that are in the estate. Assets that are going to fall afterwards, he doesn't get. Mishnah. Hanitin ala shivcha. Person has a shivcha knanis, and people are suspicious that the master is fooling around with the shivcha. And the master turns around v'nishtachrecha and gives her a get shichra, and now she's a full-fledged Jew. All anachris. Let's say there's a shiksa in the neighborhood, and the rumor is that Chaim Yankel is fooling around with this non-Jewish woman, and all of a sudden the non-Jewish woman converts. Vinis Gaira. Harei lo yichnos. The din is, if they come to the rabbi to ask for chuppah v'kiddushin, because he wants to marry her, the rabbi is not allowed to give him chuppah v'kiddushin. Because it's suspicious that there was a rumor about them. Then he either freed her for that purpose, or a person was Magayer. You're not supposed to be Magayer for love. So, l'chatchila, we don't give them chuppah v'kiddushin. However, im konas, if he already slept with her, married her through bia, ein moitziin miyado. We don't force a divorce, like we would if a kohen marries a grusha, and he married her. Well, their bezdin will come in and force them to divorce each other. Here, ein moitziin miyado. However, listen to the next case. Hanitan al eshes ish. There's a rumor that Chaim Yankel is fooling around with this married woman. And then her husband divorced her. And now the guy that is suspicious of fooling around tries to marry her, or goes ahead and marries her. Afal pi shekanas yotzi. This is the case where we would force a divorce. So the Gemara says, so even though we don't let them get married, the shiksa, hagiyaris miyahavya, but we don't ruin the conversion. She's a Jewess. Veriminu, I'll ask you a stira. Echad ish nisgar l'shumisha. If a man comes to Bezdin and wants to convert to Judaism because of a woman, or echad ish nisgar l'shumish, or a woman wants to misgaya to Judaism because of a man. He wants to get a job with the king, or l'shum avdei Shlomo, or he wants to be one of the officers of Shlomo. Einon geirim divrab nechem. It's not. The geiris is not good. Shairim Nechemia Oimer, echad geirei arayos. There was a group, the Kusim, converted because there was a plague of lions in the Shomron, and they all converted. The echad geirei chaloimos. Somebody has a dream that tells them to convert. Echad geirei Mordechai ve'Esther. All those goyim in Shushan that converted. Einon geirim. Ad shizgar b'zman hazeh. Until they convert, like in our time. Now, b'zman hazeh, sal kedaydich. I mean, how could people from Mordechai ve'Esther be in our time? Ela ema gives zman hazeh. I mean, it has to be like when times are bad for Jews. Then people come to me, Magaya, we accept them. Ha'itmer alo amrav Yitzchak bar Shmuel bar Marta mishmei derab. Halacha kedivrei ha'omer kulam gerimei. The halacha is like the opinion where we don't care why they come, they're gerim. So if so, yachil lechatchila dami, why shouldn't we marry them lechatchila? Mishum dramavasi, haser mimcha akshut peh ulezut svatayim. Stay away from gioiris. And people will think about the original rumor that you were fooling around with her. When Mashiach come, there's no going to be gerim, because everybody's going to want to be a ger. They did when Klal Yisrael were successful in the times of David and Shlomo. We didn't accept gerim. Armelazer Mikra, Hein Gur Yagur, Efes Meoisi Migari Tachalach Yipol. It means it's somebody who lives with Klal Yisrael when they're poor and in Galus. That's who we accept. What do you mean there was a rumor that he was fooling around the nation Sish? There were Eidim. It wasn't just a rumor. It was the Eidim that saw them commit adultery. On Rav Sheshes, Amina Kinaim v'Shachiv Rav, I think Rav was sleeping when he said this. The Tanya. Somebody was suspicious about a man that was fooling around with the nation Siish, and that woman's husband divorced her. Im Kanas Lo Yotzi. If the man who was suspected of being mizana with him marries him, we don't force a divorce. Now we evaluate. If there were edim that were mizana, well, there's a din. It's osir labal, osir laboyel. If you have an eshes and someone commits adultery with edim and with an eshes, she cannot live with her husband. She can't live with the boyel either. Even if someone else had married her in the meantime, and then divorced her, and now he remarried her after somebody had married her, there's still an isser of asr labalu laboya. El alav delek edim. Must be there's no edim. And why is he allowed to marry her, and we don't force a divorce time into asr achav afsek lekala? Because she married somebody else, which stopped the rumor. Halav hachi mafkinan. Otherwise, we would be mafkinan even without edim. Armlacha Rav, no. He would he would not necessarily be forced to divorce, even if there was no intervening marriage. Meaning, if there were Eidim that they were Mezana and a Chanami, Bezdin would force a divorce. But we don't force a divorce. Even though she married somebody else after the first husband divorced her, and later on the guy marries her, if they show up to Bezdin, we don't give them Chuppah v'Kiddushin. But if he went ahead and did it, we don't force a divorce. When do we force a divorce? When she has no children. Because we don't want to give the children a shem mamzer. However, in Bo, Eidei Tuma, if there were Eidim that saw the Mizaneh, then we don't care. Who cares? They are mamzerim, or they could be mamzerim. This is Dr. Ragenstein. Go ahead and turn the recording off for a minute, Martin. Go ahead. This is Dr. Ragenstein. Rav established our Mishnah, B'yesh labanim v'yesh la'edim, where there's children and Eidim. And it's only time Eidim Avkinon. If there are Eidim, we force a divorce. Why didn't he learn simply? Lukma b'she'ein labanim. Why didn't he establish the mission that she has no children? And afagav deleke Eidim. Amar Rav Masnisim Kashisi. You know why the Mishnah forced him to learn that way? My ear detani hotzi ua. Listening hotzia, that the original husband divorced her. Elakol hotzia means bebezdin. Bezdin forced the divorce. When do they do it? Bezdin be'edim udemafki. V'boy say ma'ani masnis and Rebbe. Others say that the Brisa Rebbe Rav was referring to was Rebbe, the Tanya. Roichel yoytze v'yishach legeres besider. You have the mailman sneak out of a house, and you see the woman coming in. When you come in, is putting on her underwear. You force a divorce. You don't need Eidim. Even if it's very suspicious, you can force a divorce. And if they find fluids when he comes into the house, you could also force a divorce based on that. Okay. So I'm going to teach tomorrow night at 8:30 because I'm going to be on the other side of town for the Shalom Zachar tonight. So tomorrow night, 8:30. And the Navi Shir will be like regular Sunday night, 8 o'clock. And we will learn the Gemara as well, like we always do, 7:30 Sunday night.
Ernie.
Oh,
Yes.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Yeah, mazel tov.
Shabbos.
Mazel tov.
Good Shabbos.
Good
Have a
Shabbos.
good Shabbos.
Thank you. Thank you.
Agitten Chodesh.
Agit Chodesh.
Yes.
Maria, was machst du?
Wo sich